but let me tell you a little bit about myself, or maybe my role. Like they mentioned, I'm a distinguished engineer, which is one of IBM's leadership technical positions. You actually end up starting from a technical career path to get to a distinguished engineer, and eventually what we call an IBM fellow as well. What I do in IBM, I am the CTO for IBM Garage, and I'll mention a little bit about IBM Garage later, but as a CTO, I'm required to look at what is our advances and technology that we need to look at to progress our company into the future. Also to help our clients with their mission and objectives. So as this is around transcending imaginary lines, I wanted to take you through my imaginary lines that I had to actually cross over. So I started my life in Egypt. I graduated out of the Cairo University Electric Engineering Department. I was focused in the last years on software engineering, so IT was kind of the thing that I was looking for. I eventually went to the US. After 4 months of working in Egypt, I traveled to the US to do my master and PhD out of the University of Louisville, Kentucky. And after I graduated from the University of Kentucky, I went to North Carolina with IBM. IBM's biggest location in the US is in North Carolina. It's called RTP, Research Triangle Park. And there I started my technical career. And after I completed that, I went to, after I completed that, I went to North Carolina where I started working at IBM. And then after that, I went to Cleveland, Ohio. IBM started the working from home kind of environment back from 2004. I know you all witnessed it in COVID, but we've been doing it since 2004. So at that time, my family was in Cleveland, Ohio, so I moved there. And after that, in 2009, I actually went to China, and specifically in Dalian. This is the biggest square in Asia. It's in Dalian. It's called Shanghai Square. And I went there because IBM had their biggest location in Dalian. I was targeted to accelerate the development of our technical skills there. We had 8,000 people there, and then we work on developing their skills and growing their capability as technical leaders. And then during the period when I was in China, I actually moved my US location from Cleveland to California because my kids started growing up and I wanted to put them in the best schools available, and the best, most competitive schools are all in California, so I moved to California and San Francisco. And then after 13 years in China, I actually decided to come to Singapore to further accelerate IBM's capability. The main reason is Singapore is very central to Asia, and I love working in Asia because things happen much faster here compared to the US and the West. So that was my decision. So let me go on to my topic. So if you've seen how I transcended the imaginary line, and when anybody tells me, where are you from, it's really hard for me to answer because I moved all over the place. But that also helped shape who I am. So if anybody tells you you have limitations or you cannot do that or you cannot do that, you are able to do anything you want, and you can achieve anything you want if you set your mind to it. So keep that in mind. So let's go to my talk. My talk is around how do we leverage generative AI to transcend these imaginary lines, not just for yourself, but for organizations and anybody that wants to do amazing things. Einstein once said, if we have 1 hour to save the planet, I would take 59 minutes to identify what is the problem that we're trying to solve, and then 1 minute to solve it. This is a very important statement because a lot of people push you to solve before you even think about what are you trying to solve. And you end up solving the wrong problem. So spending time on solving the right problem is very important. And that is what IBM Garage is about. I mentioned to you I'm the global CTO for IBM Garage. IBM Garage is IBM's way to drive entrepreneurship into large-scale enterprises. Large-scale enterprises are always inhibited by complex processes, methods, techniques that they have to use that inhibit them from innovation. And as you've seen and you heard, when we grow up in our life, we are more afraid to make mistakes, and therefore inhibits our creativity. So we're taking that back by doing this IBM Garage, which is an entrepreneurship way of driving this kind of innovation. So the first step in IBM Garage, what we usually do is we work with the senior leadership in our organization, and we try to identify what are the strategic initiatives. A strategic initiative is a mission that an organization wants to achieve. For example, if I say our mission is to grow our revenue, that is a mission that we need to put a statement around. So using generative AI, I decided to try that out on the topic we're discussing here today. And I'm telling it that we're working with GIS, and the focus area is improve student career progression possibilities by transcending imaginary lines. And then it's able to come back to me and come up with multiple strategic initiatives. But I'll just focus on one, the one you see in red here. And it says, how might we implement a comprehensive career counseling program for each student so that we can guide students in setting realistic career goals and developing actionable plans to achieve them? We'll be successful when a higher percentage of students successfully progress in their chosen career paths. So as you can see here, I used generative AI to come up with this, but the reason generative AI was able to do that is because it has a lot of knowledge that it actually ingested, and is basically trying to incorporate all that knowledge into the mission that I'm giving it. And it's just creating in a special structure that we defined in IBM. The next step is to achieve this is that I need to now look at how can I achieve this target that I set for myself. The way we do that is we do something called value trees. And as it's building up here with generative AI, I'm going to explain to you what it is. A value tree is a way to take a mission and break it down into the areas where you can achieve this mission. It gives you different domains, different areas to focus on where that mission can be realized. For example, if I say, I want to grow my revenue, there's different ways to grow your revenue. You can grow it by increasing your customer base. You can grow it by increasing your products. You can grow it by making sure that you retain your current customers, you don't lose them to another competitor. You can make it by introducing yourself into new geographies, new markets. So that's what the value tree helps you define. So this is the value tree that the AI generated, and let's go through it. It says that we're gonna grow our, we're gonna develop our personal career counseling global for the Indian Global International School in Singapore by addressing these three areas: user experience, growth, and strategic capability build. For user experience, we're going to do that by personalization and increasing satisfaction of the students. And we do that by customizing the learning path or by increasing the counselor to student ratio. For growth, we have two areas: market penetration and retention. And for market penetration, we're going to do that through marketing and outreach. And for retention, it's student satisfaction. And then lastly, for strategic capability build, we have two areas: talent development and technology integration. And we're going to do that through counselor training and career counseling platform. So out of all of these, as you guys have heard, I'm interested in AI always and how to leverage AI to grow and develop things. I'm going to look at the last one, which is this one, the career counseling platform. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to try to define what are the pain points around addressing this career counseling. Again, I'm going to use generative AI, and I'm going to allow it to help me generate pain points. So it created these three pain points, and the one we will focus on is the last one. We believe that career counselors feel frustrated when using outdated or ineffective tools for career counseling. We know this is true when low success rate in student progression is in chosen career path. Usually what we do to identify these pain points is we'll do user research. We will come here, we'll sit with the counselor, we'll sit with the students, we'll ask them questions, we do interviews, we get insights from all of that and make a decision. But here I'm using generative AI to help me accelerate that process. And then it came up with this pain point that is very valid, and then I'm gonna go ahead and progress it forward. So the next step after me defining my pain point, so as you've seen what Einstein said, we spend a lot of time defining what the problem is. To this point, we haven't looked at the solution. We're all defining what the problem is. There is also an extra step we usually do before going to solutions, which is estimating the value of addressing the pain. But for the sake of time, I'm not covering that. So for solution, it's the same thing. I'm going to use generative AI. I'm going to ask it to look at this problem that I identified and try to recommend for these solutions. So we'll focus on the top solution it came up with. We believe that implementing advanced and user-friendly technology solutions for personalized career counseling will result in enhancing efficiency in career counseling processes and increase satisfaction among counselors and students. We know we have succeeded when 80% of career counselors reports improved satisfaction with technology and 20% increase in student success rate in their chosen career paths in Achieve. Most important thing is the success criteria that we set, which is the 80% of career counselors are more satisfied and 20% of students actually achieve their career progression. So once I achieve my solution, the next step is to break that solution into features. And again, I'm going to use generative AI to help me identify what are all the features. As it's playing, I'm just going to show you the features it came up with. And let's just focus on the one in red. So one of the features is generative AI should be integrated to analyze career trends and suggest suitable career paths for students based on their interests and skills. Imagine if I give your profile as a student to generative AI, tell them all your skills, all your capability, where you excel, where you like to learn more, where you like to develop your career, and it would recommend to you what is the right career path to follow and give you guidance for that, what skills to build, and so on. So the next step is to actually take that feature that we created and turn it into what we call a user story. If any of you is aware of Agile delivery, Agile is not just for IT, it's for any kind of Agile development or manufacturing or delivery of any kind of product. So again, I'm going to ask it here to help me generate a user story. And this is the user story it came up with. As a student, I want to receive personalized career path suggestions so that I can choose a suitable career based on my interest and skills. What we do after that is we will take this and start to build it as a solution. We'll build that career counseling platform that we set for from the beginning. But you've seen here what generative AI is able to do is guide us from a consulting capability in a company like IBM to work with any client to help them deliver their mission and their targets. So what we've done here today, we've done strategic initiative, value drivers, value levers, metrics, pain points, program epics, which is a solution, features, and user stories. But to actually deliver a solution, we need all these other components that I didn't cover, but you have an idea of what do we do to get to these things. Again, IBM Garage methodology is a complete, comprehensive methodology that allows for entrepreneurship at the scale of the enterprise. And the steps we covered are the ones in that red box. So there's a lot more steps for delivering and building solutions.